Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the lovely queens out there. We love and we appreciate everything that you do for us. Well, good evening. Sanmonani Maswati Lamahle. My name is Moket, and today you are joining me on this special edition of Mother's Day, where we're celebrating Timbogo Polesinato Lagangwan. Today, I am joined by dynamic and phenomenal women who are taking up space in business, in feminism, wherever you mention it, they're taking up space and they're doing it against all odds. Happy Mother's Day to them. Join us as we converse with the beautiful mothers that we have in store today. On this year's Mother's Day special edition, which is episode 2, I am here at the Happy Valley Hotel, and I'd like to introduce my guests to you. On my far left, I am sitting with Nomfundo Ngomalo. She is a baking boss, cake boss. May I just say that? Cake boss from Top Tier Cakes. And next to her is Zinzitwala. She's also a businesswoman. She's a mother of 1. Nomfundo is a mother of 3. And on my far right, we have Zanele Vilagati, who is a women's rights advocate. Next to her is a content creator and a producer by the name of Nonhlanganiso Nkosi. Ladies, welcome, and may we all discuss and may we all be happy. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having
us. Happy Mother's Day to everyone else but you.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody else but not me. But I'm Ngane, so on behalf of, you know.
No, Mother of Poetry, we'll give you that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Right, ladies, take me through the first day. What did that day mean to you? The first day you gave birth. I know you went through the pregnancy and all, but the first day when you realized, oh yeah, it's actually a healthy baby and I'm now responsible for this child. How was that for you?
Oh, it was nerve-wracking, I won't lie, because you go through, first, giving birth was not what I expected it. I expected more and it was easier. For the first one, it was just, it was a breeze. The nurse was so nice. She rubbed my back the whole time. And when I gave birth, I was like, okay, so now I have this responsibility for this tiny human being. But I remember falling in love with my daughter just as perfect as they are. A little bundle of joy,
What did it mean to you? Niso, the first time you held your son, what did that mean to you?
Oh, my mom's going to kill me for saying this on camera. I cried because I was expecting a girl. We were all expecting a girl.
Oh, wow.
So that's why his name is Vezobuhle, because when I made the scan, I think he had his legs crossed. So the doctor said it was a girl. So I was excited to have a mini-me. So when the doctor said, congratulations, it's a boy, I cried. I was like, I don't want a boy. I don't want a boy, I want a girl. My mom was like, shut up. Just be glad that he's alive and is healthy and he's breathing. So but the first time I held him, that was my experience. But after a couple of days, then I realized, and so they actually looked like me, had my eyes.
That's consolation. The only consolation is that he looks like you.
Like a true copy of myself. And I was like, wow, this is me. And that's when I started the journey of acceptance, to say this is me and I'm a mother now and I need to do whatever I can to provide for this beautiful, handsome son that I have.
And I think you're doing a great job. Zinzi, you're also raising a baby boy.
Yeah, I think for me the story is more raw than it is fluffy. Because those are like the things that come as you go. But the immediate feelings, I was going through the most. My boobs were hurting. Like there were so many things that happen to your body outside of having the actual baby that it takes a bit of a while to like orientate yourself that, oh, this is my baby, you know. So I think I was going through that. I saw him, he was sleeping. And I was just like, okay, but my boobs hurt. I know. And we had to deal with so many things. But when he first started like breastfeeding, but he couldn't, he was struggling. So I think that's when we started making the bond where I'm like, I'm actually this person's lifeline. Like if they don't, they're gonna die. And then that's when it comes to you like, oh, I'm a mother, you know. So it was a bit raw for me.
I like that you're raising your child with some humor.
For me, it was a joyful day
Yeah.
The dad was very excited. And I had long hours of labor, so I was still drowsy. I had a C-section after about 12 hours of labor.
Aunties.
Same. I had the same
Aunties.
experience.
So,
I was in labor for 6 hours,
But at least
and
you
then it was an emergency
tried,
C-section.
hey. You
Same.
tried.
6 hours of
For me,
pain.
it was like literally, I was at the, I went to the hospital during the day because I could feel like the water came out.
Yeah.
No, the water didn't come out, but I had a bloody show, and then the cramps started getting intense. So I went to Women and Children. They opened me up and they're like, no, you're still far ahead. Do you want to go back home or do you want to sit? So I went back home. I got there like at 12 midnight and gave birth. I think it was 2:30.
What?
And it was like I expected more. Like I was waiting for the pain, like
Yeah, and it was
because I
not
had
coming.
read too much and watched too much, like too much.
And I think that's what happens also.
Yeah.
Leading up to giving birth, you like over
Yeah, you always
consuming
Yeah.
information
Yeah.
about how it's going to be. So you actually don't even know. You're actually more lost
Yeah.
by the time you get to the birth stage.
Right. I get that. And when you speak about the pain part, I'm not sure I'm coming there. As I'm okay as a nane. Now, balancing being a working mother, or rather a working woman, and then being a mother. And I also want you guys to take me through balancing that, being a wife. How is that? How do you do it?
It's doable.
It's doable, yeah.
How do you
It's
do it?
doable.
Teach me.
I have very good time management skills.
I think as a baker,
Where
yeah.
are you from? Which
a
country are you
baker.
from? Please.
As a baker,
And
you
I am
should.
very organized.
Yeah.
So I think the key thing is having incredible time management skills.
Ugh.
For me, it's
Yeah.
either I do my baking very early before they wake up, or I do it late at
when they're
night when they
sleeping.
sleep.
But also, don't be afraid to get help.
Yes.
I have help
Yes.
in the house. I have a helper who's a live-in, and I always have, like with my children, with the first one, I'm a mother of 3, as you said, and don't be afraid of getting help.
Getting
it's not
help.
your
Yeah.
failure to get help, because I had my first child. We weren't married when we had our first baby, but I was living with my helper, and my helper was pretty young, like quite young, hey. So I was like kind of
Very
like
scared
mothering
to
2
come.
people at the same time, you know, because she didn't have a child, and I was afraid that she wouldn't be able to take care of the child, but she was good, like really, really good. The only impediment was TV.
Okay.
She was a TV addict, but knew that I would be like, Sissy, no TV
Okay.
during the
Yeah.
day. You can't do this. You can't, you know, like try to watch the baby and do that. But don't be afraid to get help.
help.
It's not a failure on women. We work. So we need other women to come and help us take care of our kids.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, do you feel that you give your children the attention they deserve, or the motherhood role as a role, the attention that it deserves if you work late nights, early mornings? I don't know, when do you meet your children and get to be a mother and teach them stuff?
In between.
I think for me, I'm like,
In between.
yeah, but I do like, and I think it's a conversation we don't have enough in terms of like having mom guilt.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of mom guilt. Like I do have a help. I am working. I'm a single mother. Like you have a lot of, I think I'm not like present enough. I'm not like supporting his emotional growth. But I think with like over time, if you're intentional about, because I think a lot of us just work and like,
Yes,
so we
yes.
just go through it without actually like, and now I have to consciously pick out time to be like, let me just like sit with him, talk to him about his day. And if you don't do that consciously, really, you almost neglecting the child. So I
Yeah.
think we just need to be more conscious of that, because I have a lot of mom guilt. Time
Yeah,
management.
I can relate to you, because my son actually stays with my mom. But before that, like the first 5 years we were staying together, it was me and my mom and him. And anybody who knows me knows that my mom and my son are like inseparable. And I think for me, I call her my strength tribe, because she is, when my son came, when my son was born, she's been there since. I was able to go and further my studies. And at the time, I was I was a camera woman, and I used to work super late hours at work.
Yeah.
And she was just constantly there. And for me, I appreciate that, and I do understand what you're saying, the mom guilt part. But I think when you make time, because you need to make time, and your kids need to understand and know you as a mother and who you are and what you stand for. So my son, I can confidently say that he understands his role when it comes to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm much more, because he obviously stays with my mom. I'm the disciplinary in the relationship.
Obviously.
And obviously, because I feel guilty sometimes because I'm not there, you know, but I come with discipline.
Yeah.
You know. So those are the things that I'm battling with. And just yesterday, I had to make I call it phone co-parenting. Because that's what I do. You know, when my mom calls me, okay, my son has done something, and then I discipline him over the phone, kind of a situation. And he understands that. He doesn't resent me for that. And any time that we spend together is precious for me. So it's just making the time and understanding and making it clear that mommy is this kind of person. Mommy works such a job, and it's not that I don't love you. I'll provide for you, and I'm there. When I'm there, I give you 110% of my time.
But also surrounding your children with the people that will nurture their care, because that's the best thing you can do for your children. I like what she said about time management. If you manage your time well, you can always slot in time with your children. For me, weekends are a no bound because I'm with my children on weekends. Saturday, Sunday, all the other days, I'm lucky enough that my husband is also very, very hands-on with the kids. But I want my time with them. Sometimes I will take one out and we go do what they like, and I'm able to have a conversation. And leaving the other one behind, I know when you get home, it's going to be, Mommy, you didn't go with me. You didn't what. But you just have to have the patience to explain that, you know, it's your turn the next weekend. So what do you want us to do? What, you know, type of thing. But the people around you, very important. So some lady actually was had a post and was like, you guys should remember your helpers are not your children. They're actually adults. So also they have to be on the Wi-Fi, on the phone. And I was like, no, because
that's the work.
For me, it depends on the work ethic that your helper has, and you have to assist them on that. I'm not saying restrict them from that. I buy my helper bundles, but at some point I had a helper who was so addicted to being online. I could, like, she was even telling me I struggle with it, you know. So we knew she can't have the internet password, she can't, you know, type of thing, so that we can help her do her work sufficiently. But then also at night, she can have her bundles and she can go through. And once you buy her bundles, she has a limit. So she knows I can't finish this bundle for the month, you know, type of thing. So you don't treat them as your children, but then you also want your children to be surrounded with people that will help them grow. Because that's the best thing you can do for your children when you're a mother that's working, that's, you know, pursuing their career as well.
I understand, and I think that Nanya Tibonela, there's so much to learn from these powerful, dynamic women that I'm sitting with here today. We will go for a quick break. We will be right back. In fact, call the others. This is the Mother's Day Special Edition 2022.
Igama lami ngincamisile Maseko, ngijoyine la ka-Legal Cover sengina 3 years ngijoyinile. Ibaluleke kakhulu kimi. Nangisacala kuyibona, nangisacala kuva ngayo bese se Malkans, then ngabe sengiba ne case lapho ngayikhanza ibaluleke kakhulu ngiyibonile ngisebentela. Okay, icase yaka maintenance ngahamba ngaya ka-legal, they helped me a lot. Bangisite kakhulu because akangibithi nalokuthi ngiye enkantolo, kuye bona benda everything, then nyalo I'm sorted, umfana alright, uyamondla babwakhe, it is cheap. Mina nje bengeke ngize ngim-afford ummeli because ngiyitele imali yemmeli. Bangisita so ngifuna ku-invite-ana labanye ukuthi abede, noma ngabe uthengisa amafethi, noma ngabe awusebenzi-ke, but nga-R25 wakho uyamcover 10,000.
Welcome back and happy Mother's Day. This is the Mother's Day special edition hosted by yours truly, Mokets, and I'm sitting with dynamic powerhouses of women and I'm learning a lot from them. But why is it important that, I know you have 2 girls, why is it important that you empower your girls so that never figure they are not bullied, or never figure society, they don't compromise themselves? And also empowering their minds more than anything.
Ngingathi ukahle ukuthi uqale utimukele nje wena yourself, utati, and logo it will really mean a lot nje. And you have a high self-esteem. And once you have a high self-esteem, kude longakuthintha. Kude futhi lokho tophindze kukuhlule. You can do absolutely anything ngempilo yakho. And nalabo lohlala nabo. Even if you be bullied, you will know how to face it. Kude lokho tokuhlula. Once you understand yourself and once you timukele the way longing.
And that translates to the kids, I guess, as well. Because when they see you, mom is strong, mom is confident, she's assertive. Even if you don't teach it like practically, children are sponges, right? They really absorb everything in your character and how you react to things. So what she's saying, I think, is completely like the base of it all.
Are there any challenges that you face in doing that? And also take me through the challenges that you face as women in leadership roles. You are in a male-dominated profession. Making it work there. How is that? Can young girls do that?
Yes. Young girls can do it. That's why we are doing it, so that they
You're the role models.
So that they can do it. I think like what Nomfundo was saying is that know who you are, you know, and if you know who you are I remember I wrote a story on my blog, and I realized that as our parents before us, they went through so much. They went through a lot. And I understand that now as a mother myself, that, you know what, my mom went through some things that she couldn't disclose, she couldn't talk about, and she held them inside, and it came out as being strict and rude and rough, you know, and you know, she went through a lot. And I think now as modern women now, we should understand that there's things like there's life coaching, therapy, and we need to start talking about the things that bother us, because it also affects our kids. You know, I know my self-confidence was definitely affected by how I was raised. You know, my mom was very strict and and she's Xhosa and she had that thing. So I had to shy away. So now I'm coming out of it, and I want for my son to learn to know, and that's what she's also learning from my son right now, is to keep it down a notch. You know?
And children can.
Now 2000.
Don't be so rough. Go, no, you're shouting at me now. Speak to me properly. You know?
They really say that.
Oh, and she accepted. You know, I was like, I wish I could say that. I can't say that to my mom. Even now I'm 35 years old, I can't. So that's what as us as being modern mothers right now, you know, we need to teach our kids to learn how to communicate and speak. You know, I was shocked one time. I was traveling in an airplane, and I don't want to talk, but there was a white lady and their daughter. The daughter was like 5, and then the waitress came and she was like, what would you like to drink? The mother says, I want to drink something, and then she asked the daughter. The mother turned around and she said, what would you like to drink? And I thought to myself, if I was traveling with my son, I would read the phone and not ask him. So we need to learn to communicate with our kids, and because they have personalities of their completely different personalities of their own. They have their own choices, and you can also learn about yourself as well when you are with your kids. You're like, oh my God, okay, now I'm being a bit tense. I need to soften up a bit. So yeah, just knowing who you are and communicate your fears to your kids. You know, they understand. They understand. They are very emotionally intelligent.
Yeah. Would you like to add something?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to actually do the empowerment with your kids by communicating with them and actually making them know that they have a voice. Like, that's the easiest thing that you can give to your children. When they do something wrong, ask them, why did you do it? Why do you think it's wrong? Because most of the time children actually know they're doing something wrong, and sometimes for me I actually ask them, so what do you think I should do about what you've done, you know? And obviously the 4-year-old will say nothing, you know, type of thing, but the 10-year-old,
my son is so cheeky. I actually do that. I ask him, so why did you do that? I don't know. And you're just like,
he's 5, right?
And I think that's another thing, like, it's so hard.
He's 5.
Yeah, he's turning 5. It's so hard to, like, because you know modern parenting, but me, I grew up with the wooden spoon, mama, okay? I grew up with the wooden spoon, so I'm so tempted half of the time to just say, hey, ba. And my son is like that. He'll be just like, I don't know. And you're like, so what should I don't know? And you're just like, what you know?
What you're saying reminds me of one time my husband came back from work and asked the 4-year-old, Feli, she doesn't like eating sometimes. She loves food, but she just doesn't like it. It's like, Feli, what did you eat at lunchtime? She's like, I don't know. It's like, did you eat at lunchtime? She's like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
Oh, you see?
And my husband was like, Megayola didn't go in bed.
Yeah, no. because what is that?
God, they're like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
What are you gonna do about it?
So yes, that takes me to the question. You would see, you're raising children that are daring. Not 2000, they are daring enough. Yeah, and they are so aware. The way that information is at our fingertips these days, how will you make sure Guti our pick up with that traits? But we are from the social media streets. Babuga, something that mom is doing was like, no, mom says, I think mom is toxic. Mrs. We are growing. You know, I had a very toxic mom. How are we protecting and shelling your children from these? Even though now my conversation has diverted.
It's consistency, Moket. Consistency, like with that situation, like with the father wanting to, you don't do anything about it as mommy. You just watch. Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't be a superhero half the time. You and your husband have to be clear. You don't interfere with discipline of the other parent, because that's when they pick up the bad traits.
You become the baddie, bad cop, good cop.
You chill, and when you reflect on it, you know, I really didn't like it, how you did this and this. This is how it's going to end up. This is what it could possibly do to the child. But if you interfere, they know now. But we don't respect it. Mommy.
Even mom said.
Yeah, but even my mom said. You know, because they can. I've watched kids say that. No, my mom says. No, you're not. You know, kind of like undermining the authority of the other parent. So you have to be very consistent. Another thing that we take for granted is sleep time, eating time, bath time. It has to be consistent.
Brushing your
Those
teeth.
humans, they sponge off a routine, so that when they see something logo out of, even if it's not about their daily routine, but okay, impilo yami ila, or I open it white kanje. If they see something that's outside of on the social media streets, this is not us.
becomes
You know.
instinct, yeah.
If you have prayer before sleep, you have reading a book, do it consistently. Being one day, you know, sometimes even though being a working mom, sometimes those are the challenges. Keeping up with the routine.
Yeah, because I think you know, we need to be very cognizant of the fact that you can't shield our children. We can't shield them from the world. We can't. The social media streets, at school, we can't shield them from what happens, but we can very much control what happens in our home. Right, and that's what they carry to their adulthood. They're always going to have outside influence, but what you do in your home is what's going to carry them in their life, in their work life, in their relationships, and that's how you need to be very cognizant of how you run your home around your children. I think that
I was just about to say you can't shield them, but for me, channel O, B, E, T, whatever it is, Njogom Jaiva is blocked. And so are Nigerians, like most of the channels on my TV are blocked.
For me, it's wrestling. He was never allowed to watch wrestling.
You're not really a violent boy.
No.
And I have Family Link on their phone.
Oh, yeah.
What's Family Link?
Oh, yes.
Family Link is an
Link,
app.
yes.
For
Yes, I
example,
also
if they
have
want
that.
to download any app, it shows on my phone that Siposetu wants to download blah blah blah. Do you approve?
Technology.
And then I check. If I don't approve, I don't.
Yeah.
It's
can
a very
turn off
good
their
thing.
phone.
It's a very good app.
It's called Family Who?
Family Link.
You can literally switch off the phone.
Yeah.
From family.
The child's
Literally.
phone.
Yes,
Yes.
the child's phone from your phone.
He's madam.
No, because
time to
also
sleep.
technology is great, right? And
Yeah.
I think as parents we fear technology so much. Technology is great, and we need to equip them for a
Exactly.
technological world, right?
Yeah.
But I could also use it to protect them. So with things like Family Link, with how you manage your DSTV, your YouTube, you can control all those things. We just don't need to be so scared of them that we don't expose our children.
Because we should remember also the law says if they're exposed to anything that is of a higher content than their age, you're the one who's going to take the responsibility. You're in the bad with the law, actually.
I love how she says we must remember, like we know. We don't know. Please tell us. Am I going to get arrested?
Yes, you get arrested if your child gets pornography, sees a nude picture or anything. It's your fault. You need Family Link to manage because you give them the gadget to access rights. So you also have the responsibility to take care of them.
Okay. We're learning a lot.
I love the link that I'm making with this family over here. Let's go for a quick break. We will be right back. And we are talking with women in business, women in feminism, women taking up space in the world. See you after this break.
My name is Eswatini Masina from Mhlambeni in the Manzini region. I went to process the death certificate and all the necessary paperwork. Then I took it to the United Holdings offices, and I think it was less than an hour that I spent there, because when I produced all the necessary paperwork, they did what was necessary. Then they asked me to go to the exhibition room where I had to choose the casket. And I was really impressed because there was a variety. So I was able to choose what I felt was the best casket for my father. Then they said they will pay into my account the balance of the claim, and I was able to make the other preparation with regards to the funeral. So it was a really big relief for me, such that when we went to the cemetery, I was like, wow. And I was so happy, even though there was that crying, but I was impressed that at least it was a good send-off. And that didn't cripple me financially afterwards. I was so happy. Given the premium that I was paying, it was really worth it. United Life Assurance products are really good value for money, and the claim that I made upon the death of my father, it was quite impressive. Ngingakhuthata ukuthi bamfu babe nayo i-funeral cover because kufa kufika ungakugadi and siyati ukuthi tinkinga tetimali tihlala tikhona, so kumcoka kakhulu ukuthi wathi ukuthi utoshonaphi should kwenteka ukuthi ulahlekelwe isihlobo sakho.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax, sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. Been alive in the middle of nowhere. Shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, yeah. You don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just on this.
My name is Nomsa Ruth Ndlovu. I'm from Tlangano. I've had legal insurance cover for over 3 years. After some time, I was forced to use my legal insurance cover. I went to my legal offices. I asked them, I told them my situation. They said, no, we'll help you. And they did that. They helped me. Oh, I'm so happy. And everything went so fine. Yes, there was a court case. And the best thing I like about our legal firm, you don't have to go to court. I'm old, from Tlangano. It's very difficult to climb steps, going to court. They do it. The lawyer just phones you in the evening. I'm from the court. And I've won. Please, take legal cover. You won't be sorry.
Siyanemukela futhi maswatile amahle solo uhletisene nami nomfundo sifunza and I'm sitting with dynamic women in this kingdom who are taking up space. Niso, I like what Niso does and I respect what Niso does. Anyway, I'm not here for your profession, Niso. I'm here to ask you how you keep your head up in a male-dominated profession. And creative as you are, with so many ideas flowing in your head, how do you keep your head up there?
It's not about keeping my head up.
Yeah?
It's about doing the work.
Got it.
You can keep your head up and still screw it up. You know, I think for me, I came into this industry and I was the first of my kind.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that I came into an industry in Swaziland where they accepted me. Eswatini TV accepted me at the time when I came in, and they embraced me and they allowed me to flow with as much creativity. And I was big on creativity back then. I still am. And so it's just do the work, and that's how you get the respect. And that's how you keep your head up. You know, no matter what happens, as long as who can falter you in your personality if you're doing your work, if you're doing the work right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just I keep my head up by doing the work, showing up, and giving 110% every time I show up to work.
Got it. I'm writing that down. The two of you are entrepreneurs. Ooh, I hope I pronounced that right. Anywho, you're business women, taking up space in business. It's mostly men that go for business. So how did you guys do it? How are you still doing it?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think for me, and I always preach this, I think as women, we always follow our passions.
Yes.
Like we follow our passions. I'm not a believer. Not that I don't believe in passion, but I feel like men succeed more in business because they just do what works. They just do what makes sense. Can't
Okay.
do you think he has a passion about fence?
Yeah,
No. But
true.
it makes sense in the economy to have a business when you're doing steel and aluminium. We don't think of those things. So for me, when I started my business, I'm definitely not qualified in it. But I thought to myself, it works. It's a salon. I don't know how to do hair. I don't even like my own hair. But I said, it's a business method that works.
Yeah.
And all I have to do is just discipline. So I think the courage to start business is not about being female or male. Just start and just put your all into it, put discipline to it, and you won't fail. You won't. So I know people, and I'm not saying people mustn't follow their passion.
We
It's
get
just
it.
hard.
Because right next to you is someone
Yes,
that's
who is
engaged
very
and she's
passionate,
passionate
yes.
about it. So I'm clearing down for my
perspectives
perspectives.
It's so funny how I started baking. I started baking. My husband loves food
In general.
in general, and he loves baked
Good,
things.
yeah.
So ngaqala as a young makoti.
Okay.
I want to impress my husband, and he was always like, "Oh, this is nice." And then the passion grew up to this stage.
Yeah.
He still says my chocolate cake is nice.
It is.
The best.
It is the best. So, and I was like, I'm already a mom. Now, Mage, you are patient. You are persistent. You can multitask. So why not start a business? Because well, I'm already.
You already have the skills.
Yeah. So with me, it's that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as now that she's speaking like this, I have a lot of friends who don't have kids.
Yeah.
And they're always like, I'm not equipped, I'm not ready. I'm like, no one ever is. And I think that's a God-given thing that God gave us as man. It's just inherent. You have it. You are equipped. I think, I don't know.
You know, I feel them because I'm scared, bruh.
Yeah, everybody's scared. But we all were. I think all the mothers in the world, there's no mother who can say, I knew what I was doing from day one, you know. There's no mother who can say that. And I think, hence why I'm saying it's a God-given thing, because I can't explain it. I can't like define what it is, but we are just fully equipped. I didn't know I could do half of the things I can do now as a mom. Even in the first few weeks, you were like busy with one hand, doing everything with feet, like literally, because the baby my baby was very like, he needed to be nursed a lot. So I was doing everything with just one hand. And I was just like, I never knew I could open a bottle with one hand. Like you make a plan. And that's just like a small example of how, even in the bigger context, you are equipped. You become a mother, a dentist. You become a doctor. You become so many, a teacher. That's you are. Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Kuluma about multitasking, doing that all by yourself, which takes me to asking about the father figure in a child's life, the importance of it, and as single mothers, the two of you. Because I know Zanele has already told us how her husband is hands-on with the children. How's it going there by a single parenting or co-parenting? Yeah.
I'd say for me, I'll talk about my own personal experience. Is once I knew who I was as a mother, I stopped looking on the side for a father figure for my son.
Okay.
I will need you to say that. And I'm sorry.
Because it hurts not to be a single mother. It hurts because you see, as your son, for me, as my son grows, I see traits of his father, and his father's not there.
Yeah.
And I see the loss, how much he's losing out for my son and for his father as well. And it's a sad thing to see. For me, it's an emotional thing. And I prayed for. I remember one time I spoke to a friend of mine, a guy friend. I was like, can you please make time for just to be, so that my son can, because my aunts, I have aunts, I don't have uncles, I have sisters, I don't have brothers. So he doesn't have any male figure that he can look up to. And it's something that I've prayed for the longest time. I prayed for his father to come back into his life, not for me, but for him. Because there are traits that his father was a chef, and he cooks. My son is 10 and he cooks amazing.
And you're like,
amazing.
And you like,
His father was a soccer player. He also played soccer. He also plays soccer. You know, and they like, and weirdly enough, they don't spend time together, but they like the same soccer player.
Oh wow!
Wow! Love Messi, boy too.
Oh, so much triggered.
You know, so that it's an emotional thing for me. But once I discovered that, you know what, I shouldn't fault myself. There's nothing that I can do. Absolutely nothing that I can do as his mother. All I can do is be there and be there for him wholeheartedly. And you know, when God answered my prayers and gave me a partner right now who is 110% there for him, the relationship they have is amazing. It's like that. The reason why I love my partner now is because of the way he treats my son and the way he's there for my son all the time. So it's hard, but there are things that I can't do. And we need, and I want to say to the absent fathers out there, we need you guys. I can't, even as strong as I am, as strong, as independent as I am, I need my son to be able to relate to someone else other than me and my mother and my aunts and my sisters, of which he didn't have, of which now he has, gratefully so. And I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful. So now I can relax.
I think to ride off what Niso is saying, I think I've always made it clear, and I think we don't talk about enough how I can never replace his father. And I think we take it upon us and we try soldier on and we try be everything, but you need to be very conscious as a single mom that I cannot, even with the father, I communicate that. I'm like, there's nothing, maybe you think I'm doing everything, there's nothing I can ever do to replace your role in his life. Luckily for me, I have brothers, I have my father, so they do like play roles where they take him to soccer, and I think that's important to expose him, because I realized, I think he was 2, I don't know, when I was still potty training, he literally sat on the toilet seat and read, and I was like, sir, because I lived with my mom, I lived with the helper, and it was me. He sat there, and I was like, no, and I realized that actually no one taught him that he has to stand and pee, and who's he going to learn that from? I was so shocked at I'm like, and he literally just sat there and he peed. I'm like, and I called my brother back, listen, you need to come stand on the toilet seat for like a week.
So that he can
so he can see, so that things that we really can't replace.
It's really funny because
because every day is and that's it, right? So for me, I think, and that's a call even to like the fathers out there. Co-parenting, I think we overthink so much, especially as black people, especially as Swazis, we overthink it so much. It's not about me and you. It's always about the children.
Right? Pride that we have to say we're empowered enough, we can take care of all of our kids. It's not about that. That's also part of feminism.
It is.
Being a feminist, I'm always saying that government, we as the citizens of Eswatini, we need to hold men accountable for the human beings they brought to this earth. It's not about you as a woman and what you can afford. You can even buy your car, the latest Lexus, but the father figure needs to be there.
For the sake of
Shona
the
ngabe
child.
uta nje aphethe liphepha afunde liphepha embi kwalo mfana, but udinga kumbona.
Lempo yadalwa, I want to even go to the spiritual. Lempo yadalwa nguNkulunkulu. The unity yadalwa nguNkulunkulu, and it wasn't by mistake. For it to be like 2 people to make one, it wasn't by mistake. So there are roles that are there and there are traits that are there. There's something that you're building in the child by both being present, even if you're not present together. Right? And I think that's the mistake. We overthink parenting.
Even if you're not,
it's not about all of those things. It's about this person that needs to raise and send back out to the world. Right?
Sending
Exactly.
I love the things that I'm learning from you ladies, and mostly, especially the 2 of you, for admitting that no, I could be a superwoman to my child, but I'm not a superhero. He needs a father figure. I'm everything to my child. Well, I'm everything to your screens right now.
It is very helpful. It has helped me when I had a case last year. I was saved with summons. It was a matter between me, some company I had with the bank, and I called UGI. They attended to my matter and assigned me a lawyer who did everything and went to court. I didn't even go to court. We went to court and the matter was sorted. I would say it's efficient because they helped me very quickly and everything was sorted. My legal cover covers a lot of cases, civil cases, criminal, labor issues as well. So you may never know when you will need help, any legal assistance with any of those, and they are there to help you.
Your favorite music show is back. We're bringing you the hottest music videos and live studio interviews with your favorite celebrities. We're giving you a front row seat to the latest fashion trends as well as your weekend gig guide. Join us live on social media and call in to send in your shout-outs. Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Friday at 5:30 p.m. live on Eswatini TV.
Kumcoka kakhulu sisingalokuthi uba nalobuhlungu bekuthi ufelwe hayi ukuthi udawungcwaba ngani. Lokuthi nje uyathi ukuthi umngcwabo utawuqhubeka kahle kube nelibhokisi.
Umshwarensi uyinto lenkulu. Akubuhlungu babede nje libhokisi emngcwabeni. Angathi ukuthi ungakubetha ngosuku yini kodwa uyabona laba ka United ngibabukela ukuthi basivule emehlo kakhulu. Ngoba kangangoba nyalo nemvana sangakhona ngisho ukuthi ifakela imali la ka United ahlale athi ukuthi unelithemba angathi ukuthi ngathi kuphi kusekhaya. Ngibonga nje kakhulu ukuthi kuhle kulendlela laba siphethe ngayo. Angathi ukuthi ngabe labanye bayakubona yini ukuthi lele sikuko kusiphatha kahle kanjani. Ubabete newari ukuthi nje ayathi ndawuthini nje nyalo.
Hayi siphaseke kahle kakhulu sisi. Kuba bede nje inkinga. Nasitoklema nje siphaseka kahle.
Futhi ufike lo mfana umkhanze apolite. Hayi lokuthi akuthathe ebhlanghlanga. Polite kukuhle.
Welcome back, Maswati Lamasha. This is the Mother's Day special edition. As you can see, well, now you can also make a stop here at Happy Valley Hotel, especially on Sundays, because there's the Sunday buffet. It's on special. Their meals are scrumptious. Ladies, and I have so many questions that I want to ask you, but then I'll have time with you. How do you celebrate your womanhood? Nezanel, celebrating the woman that you are and making sure that you're passing it on to the next generation, your children and other girls. I know that you've been doing my women empowerment for a long time. Gosia, how are you letting a part of you out like that and passing it on to the next generation?
I think we've already said it around the table. Knowing yourself is the most important thing. Then you have to take time for yourself. It's not neglecting your children when you take time to actually just have a breather. Go to a spa if you're able to go to a spa. Go to a mountain, read a book. Be around people that can inspire you. And then the most important one, look at every woman as if they were God. As if they had some part of God in them. Like, take the inspiration from them. Don't look at the hateful stuff. Don't look at the wrong things and think about the hateful stuff, because as we have just been talking during the break, that whatever you think of is what you attract. So if you're looking at all the wrong things around people, that's what you attract. And that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to exude. So in order to pass it on to the other girls, to the younger girls, think positive, take time for yourself so that when you are present, you're actually fully present, and children they don't listen to what you say. Let's not lie to ourselves. They just do what you do.
They watch what you do.
Yeah. So that's what you have to do.
Look at every woman as if you're looking at God.
Right.
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 How do you celebrate your womanhood?
Well, I have a platform.
Yeah.
I use my social media. I don't know if you guys. I use my social media and I just talk about random topics. I don't think we have like spaces where we talk about your mom guilt and it's not like this. This is formal and it's nice and it's national, but I use my social media space, and if you follow me, I talk about topics about dating, about your body, and I don't think as women, especially young women, that's the conversations I love having. Your body. We don't understand our hormones, we don't understand our periods, we don't understand a lot of things that impact who we are and how we show up to society, right?
True.
So it's, for me, it's a conversation I love having. I love talking. I love talking, so that's how I share my womanhood, by talking. Even when people come to my salon, I take time and I'm like, how are you doing today? And the people are like, I've got pimples. I'm like, it's probably a period, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, because I think that's one my favorite topic. We don't understand our bodies, and if we did, I think we'd show up better, right? Because you can understand that I'm having an emotional week because I'm ovulating.
PMSing. Yeah, yeah.
For example.
Got it.
So I think that's how I share. I use my social media platform to just like have topics and people respond, and I share the stories, and it's just a good time.
We definitely ask you to follow Zinzitwala on your Instagram. Bizo wami.
Yeah, Bizo. Like Zanella has said, accept yourself. Make time for yourself. If it's going out for breakfast, because we're always the ones preparing meals.
Yeah.
I, for one, I don't eat lengu pegil.
Oh, same.
So I take myself
That's
out.
why my husband cooks as well.
Yeah.
He does.
So yeah, I go out for breakfast. I go out for my facials. Yeah.
You can't pour
Just
from, you
recoup and clear your
can't
mind.
pour from an empty cup, right?
Exactly.
And we always need to pour. We need to pour into our
Yeah,
families. We need to pour into our children. And if you don't take time out for yourself, even like who you are, you're gonna pour from an empty cup. You're gonna suffer from exhaustion. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be. So if you don't take time out for yourself, do that.
You definitely need that. Now, Niso, in your sector or as women here in this table, when and how do you take time? Girls need to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, outside the family spas and whatnot. Girls need to have fun. What's your definition of a mom fun?
Yeah.
Mom fun is out with the girls.
Yeah.
You know, I think every woman needs a strong sisterhood.
Yep,
True.
And I really love when a woman is standing tall and she's got her sisters right beside her. That is, and I mean clean fun.
Yeah.
You go to the spa, you go have lunches, you go have breakfast, go ahead, do your hair, you know, take drives. But that is fun for me. You know, and it's fun to have a couple of drinks responsibly, you know, and be yours. Because you cannot be, obviously we've got married women here, we've got, you know, we've got our partners and everything, but you can't be fully yourself. There's a time when you just need to relax and just be silly. If ending, man, you know, when you're with your friends, you can let loose and be your fully.
Yeah.
So I think for me, every woman needs to have a strong sisterhood and surround yourself with women that really care about your well-being. Because I think right now, what we're experiencing is the whole woman hate. You know, surround yourself with friends and sisters that love you, and that's fun for me. I'm grateful for my friends because they allow me to be myself, be crazy, and I can go back and be
proper
Anissa.
Can I just come in with the women hate thing? The one thing I can tell everyone in this country is that people hate each other. It's not women only. We just illuminate women because of the gender stereotypes. Women's gender stereotype is the nurturing. That's the biggest one. So when a woman acts inappropriately to another woman, it's going to be magnified. As if, believe you me, a man just killed another man. We remember those stories,
Yeah.
right? They shot a man. That was man hate. That was people hating on people. People hate on people. It's just because of our gender stereotype that we magnify women when women have turfs on each other. And then it also goes back to that. Look at every woman as if you see God. And then also just, let's talk about the positive so that our young ones can get to know the good tales of women helping each other. How many men around the table have helped you give birth?
My brother. My
How many men have helped you raise your child? Yeah, but it's 1 out of the 5 women that were there. So talk about the stories of how the other women have brought you up, have helped you, rather than seeing this petty women hate, and then someone looked at your shoe and said it's ugly, or something like that. It's just people. It's not women hate. It's just people. People in the world hate each other, but let's not.
Yeah. Thank you for those pearls of wisdom, Zanele. Time is running out, but I want you guys to make 2 wishes for Mother's Day real quick. We only have 2 minutes to do this. 2 wishes for Mother's Day.
For me, 2 wishes is for me to have a future healthy baby. And then I wish for my mom, my wish is for my mom to just, it's her time to relax. She's in her 60s. My wish for her is to start learning to take care of herself.
Mrs. Vilagati, 2 wishes?
My 1 wish is for the country to enact a law that will hold men accountable. I never really wish things for myself.
I'm all for that.
All men accountable to the beings that they're bringing up. My 2nd wish is for a healthy livelihood for my children, for all children in the country.
Thank you. Mrs. Ngumalo?
For me, rest.
That's me. That's me. That's me.
You need it.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, it would be a day not doing anything, not worrying about anything, and lots of money.
Of course.
Lots of money. Just send me money. That's the cure to everything. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. I've enjoyed my time with you. I hope Nani Makaya Konaleni Gufunzile, and you've also picked up lessons in your daily goings as a mom, as a young mom. I hope pick up. Do catch us also on our YouTube channel. This show will also be available there. Well, a huge thank you, Siyabonga Kakhulu, Happy Valley Hotel, for hosting us. Do remember to make a stop for their Sunday buffets, which are always on special only on Sundays. Well, Eswatini, thank you for joining us. This is the Mother's Day Special Edition 2022. Siyantanza, Happy Mother's Day.